Welcome to Texas Honda Channel. God bless each and every one of you for clicking on the video, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. So in this video, I'm going to be installing the 1000cc injectors with Jackspania Racing's fuel rail and the AN fittings with the braided fuel line. It's really simple to do. I will leave a link in the description for all of the stuff that I'm going to be using today. Also, I wanted to leave a link for this. Someone actually did tell me I need to see positive pressure. This does see positive pressure even though it's on the throttle, because a line runs from the past the supercharger, which will see boost, and then it runs into the map sensor. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I forgot to mention it in a video. I will leave a link in the description for this as well, for anyone who's going to supercharge their setup and wants to make sure it sees positive pressure. That is a definite must for this. I also made a catch can bracket. I painted it gold and basically just bolted it to the steering rack where there's an existing bolt hole, and it's nice and solid. Also went with the engine intake, true cold air intake system, and it runs right behind the front bumper so it sucks in cooler air. I'll probably be doing one of those hydrophobic bags that go over the filter, so that way it doesn't hydrolock the engine. Those bags are designed to breathe well. But that cooler air will definitely help the supercharger and make a little bit more power. So I'm happy I was able to keep the battery so I can actually pass track inspection. But as I said in a previous video, sometimes it's kind of hard to pass track inspection at the track I go to when you have a relocated battery. They've always given me a problem with it. So it's going to be better if I just keep it up front for right now, because I do want to take this down the track. So yeah, we're basically going to go ahead, head over to the workbench, and I'll show you more on the fuel rail. All right, we have Jackspania Racing's fuel rail here. Information is in the description with a discount code if you want to buy one. We've got the 1000cc FIC injectors with the injector clips. They came off of a Ford, a 2006 or newer, usually has the right injector clip, so I have to solder these on in the existing injector spot. It does have an AN fuel line, which you cannot just use this with a factory fuel line unless you have this cool nifty little adapter. So I'm going to show you what this nifty little adapter does. This is what the factory fuel rail and fuel line on the car side looks like. We take this back piece here and it goes on like this, and then this piece has a little rubber inside there and it slides on like that, and then you tighten it down really nice and tight, and now your factory fuel line can have an AN fitting. I will leave a link in the description for this piece because it is really awesome and I absolutely love it. So we can actually just screw these together now, and now you can use the factory fuel line with AN fittings. Now the most ideal route would be to obviously replace all of your fuel lines with AN fittings, but I know that's not always ideal, especially if you don't have a lot of money like me. This method works really well. Now we will in the future have to do a return fuel line out of here, so I will have to run a brand new line all the way to the tank for the return line for fuel pressure regulator and stuff like that. But this will work for now for the setup we currently have. So I'm going to go to the car and show you how to install it. Okay, starting first, we're just going to take each of the injector clips off here, and then we have the 10mm bolt right there. Now we can just move all of this out of the way for right now. Now we're going to follow this fuel line. It runs all the way back to the firewall. There's usually a metal bracket that goes over this with two 10mm bolts. We're going to undo this little green clip. Basically just press both of these sides in at the same time and pull the fuel line off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the two 12mm. Right now I'm going to undo the clip on this side of the fuel rail, pull the line off, and pull the fuel rail and injectors out. Okay, so there's a slight change of plans. We are going to have to use the factory fuel line for the time being on the racing rail. I went ahead and switched the tips out. Now the reason for this is this piece fits perfectly fine on the factory rail and everything like that, but on the car side this is a bit smaller, so this wobbles around, which means it would leak. You want it to be a nice snug fit on there, so we cannot use that for right now, but we will put that braided line on. I just have to order the right piece. So this piece does fit indeed on this side. So I will leave a link in the description for this one and the correct one that goes to the actual side of the car. But yeah, we're basically just going to go ahead, go get this bolted in, and start soldering up the connections. Okay, as for injector wiring, it goes brown, red, blue, yellow. That's brown, cylinder 1, red, cylinder 2, blue, cylinder 3, and yellow, cylinder 4. Now there is a yellow and black on every one of these. There's also a red on every one of these. So the yellow and black will go to the red that is on every one of these. So we're going to go yellow, black to red, yellow, black to red, so on and so forth. I'm going to do them one at a time. Make sure to solder your connections. Do not use butt connectors or crimps or anything like that. You want a solid connection. If one of these injectors fails mid-pull, you're going to blow that cylinder and the whole engine's going to have to be rebuilt or trashed, depending on how bad you blow it. You do not want any connection errors, so make sure to do this right. Basically just going to solder all these up and then connect them back on there. So hope you guys are enjoying this video. Okay, there it is. It's installed. Got the fuel line reconnected. So basically the only thing I have left to do is upload the base map with the dead times in it. We'll put it to 1000cc injectors, put in the proper dead times which come with the injectors. Typically when you buy injectors it comes with the dead times, you need to put that in. But it will be going to Eric for a finalized tune, so if it doesn't run perfect here, it will be okay because we will be taking it straight over to Eric and he will be adjusting all the tune on the dyno. But we'll go ahead and put those settings in the computer and upload it. Okay, in Han Data K Manager, we have the injector size right here, primary injectors, 310 cc's. We're going to change that to 1000 cc. Then injector voltage comp dead times. We can actually click the injector dynamics 1000 cc's, click OK. Now we'll turn the key forward, which is going to prime it. And then we can upload this information, which also primes the fuel pump again. So in theory, it should start right up and run good. Oh yeah, definitely running smooth. Go ahead and see here. Cool. So it's idling at 980 roughly RPMs. Still a little bit cold though, so it needs to warm up, but it's running, so I think that was a success. Now, I definitely recommend that you make sure your dead times match the ones from the drop-down menu, because if you put the wrong dead times in, it will run like crap and it will make tuning very hard for whoever's tuning it. Now, AGN Motorsports will be tuning this in, if God is willing, the next video should be this on the dyno at AGN Motorsports, doing some full pulls. I have not been able to fully get on it yet. I do have a base map on it, but I don't trust it enough to fully get on it. So with that being said, in the next video, if God is willing, we will have this thing pulling down the road, doing some speedometer videos, and yeah, before too long we'll be able to take it to the track and actually see what it runs down the track. But it already is a very fun car. Even with the very light throttle acceleration that I do, it's awesome. I just cannot wait to see what it does full throttle. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. We will be working on getting that fuel line in, the one that we have over here. Now I do still have to order the correct piece. This part fits perfectly fine on the factory line on the rail side, but it does not fit properly on the firewall line, as the firewall line is just a little bit smaller than this. So definitely check the link in the description. I'm going to try to leave both of them, and they will be labeled which one works on the fuel rail and which one works on the firewall. But yeah, definitely going to get that in as soon as I can. But made some huge improvements for sure. And I really like how it's looking under here. The bay will be going gold flake. That's my plan at least. So I will have to remove a lot of stuff to paint the bay, but I can do it with the engine in. It's just a lot more difficult. I would like to be able to pull it all out to do it, but I'll still make it look good. You guys know that that's what I do. But yeah, it's definitely running awesome. I am super excited to get it to the dyno. But that's basically it for this video. Just want to get you guys something out so you guys have some content to watch. But I will see you guys in the next video. And as I like to say, God bless, stay safe, stay awesome.